Good evening. Sitting in for Indira Craig, I am Miriam Abdul-Kawi. And here's what's ahead for you on 7 News tonight. Cabinet met today for the first time since the SpeedNet acquisition blew up. 7 News was there when the meeting ended. You'll hear what ministers have to say. And the UDP meets the press. But are they ready to hit the streets? We'll have the answers. Also, did Tracy visit Lord Ashcroft on his yacht? She said she won't let us put words in her mouth. Plus, we'll show you a major accident out west that has left a child critical. These stories and much more are ahead on 7 News tonight, so please stay tuned.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize, knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
The Prime Minister's family stands to benefit substantially.
But do you know who doesn't stand to benefit? The Social Security Board and any Belizean worker who depends on them. It's so toxic, board members are resigning rather than voting. But the Social Security Board hasn't said anything. SSB owns more than 30% of BTL. Will they stay silent and allow this deal? Will they allow BTL to take on this massive liability? Will they gamble with your pension, your benefits, your fund? Politicians' families will get the payout, but Belizean workers will get the bill. SSB, don't gamble with what you can't afford to lose.
A safer Belize begins with all of us, and the Belize Police Department is taking bold steps to build that future together. The new 2025-2029 Crime Control and Crime Prevention Strategy is transforming policing from the ground up, reforming practices, rebuilding trust, and strengthening accountability. With investments in modern technology, upgraded infrastructure, and smart data-driven tools, officers will respond faster, work smarter, and endeavor to keep communities safer. This plan puts community partnership at its core. It will require more engagement, result in more transparency, and introduce new programs that support our youth, prevent violence, and promote second chances. From fighting gang violence and illegal firearms to confronting emerging threats like cybercrime, the BPD is building stronger, smarter, more specialized teams to protect every Belizean. And with enhanced training and leadership development, our officers are better prepared than ever to serve with integrity and professionalism. The Belize Police Department is rebuilding, reforming, and renewing its commitment to you. Together, we can create a safer, stronger Belize.
As leader of the opposition, what's going to happen if, God forbid, they were to win and he becomes Prime Minister? What is he going to do with respect to BTL and SpeedNet at that juncture? What is he going to do with respect to the competition, to the conflict that must continue to prevail between SpeedNet, Smart, which his family owns, and I say he also owns, versus a BTL? What is he going to do if he ever gets into power? He's going to try and hobble BTL. It'll be a sellout all over again. They probably can't physically sell it because it's in the Constitution. But, Madam Speaker, I can bet they would absolutely undercut BTL for Smart. That is what the people of this country must remember.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
We've always said that BTL does not fear competition.
They promise that a monopoly will lower your bills. But do you remember the last time BTL was a monopoly?
I am tired of this increase of rate. This is ridiculous. This is outrageous.
It is time for us to stand up together and say enough is enough.
They're done with GOB. They promise a lot of things and they sell it out.
A monopoly that is neither legally bound nor apparently morally inclined to give in.
Lord, as cops, they feel like they could come and lord it over us, and we have to stop this fool.
BTL is taking over $90 million in debt to buy smart. They have to pay that back. And how do you think they will do it? By squeezing you. When there's only one phone company, only one cable provider, and only one internet option, what incentive do they have to charge you less?
The Prime Minister has personally called to persuade board members to support it.
You get the politicians you vote for.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
We begin our newscast tonight with one of our top stories where today was the big day when Cabinet was expected to consider the Prime Minister's explanation of the SpeedNet acquisition. But would the meeting be decisive or divisive? And what would the minister say? Would they back the deal that stands to significantly enrich the Prime Minister's family? Or would they urge political caution? Well, our news team waited for 6 hours outside the Sir Edney Kane building for a late Cabinet meeting to wrap. And when the ministers emerged, it was with an anticlimax. The acquisition was not presented to the Cabinet today, but we were there. And our very own Jaleesa Roberts reports.
Today, our newsroom waylaid the ministers after Cabinet meeting ended. And after what was almost 6 hours of waiting and observation of movements, these were the post-Cabinet meeting comments we were able to get. Did the Prime Minister tell you about the acquisition whatsoever?
We had a short discussion about it, yes.
But do you support the acquisition?
Well, we didn't have a chance to get a full presentation today, so we didn't really get to discuss it.
We had a very brief discussion about it. Just updating us on developments that took place, which I think are already in the public record. So nothing new in respect of that.
And do you support the acquisition of SpeedNet?
No. I don't think that is even a question at this point. I think at some point we'll get a full presentation to Cabinet. When we get that presentation, we'll be in a position to say where our position, where we stand on that issue.
So the acquisition is still on the table as far as you know?
I'm not sure about that. We didn't get into that discussion today, whether it's still on the table. We were just updated on the developments, which I think have already been reported publicly.
Do you agree that this needs to go to public consultation?
Well, I believe that something of this nature, consultation is the heart of our modern democracy.
Yeah, I think the more transparency there is, the more public consultation there is. I think that's better for everyone involved.
And do you support the re-establishment of a telecoms monopoly in Belize, even if it flouts the Telecommunications Act?
No, well, for me, as an economist, I see, I can technically analyze the pros and the cons of whether or not you should have a monopoly in different sectors. That would take some time for us to sit and discuss, and not just passing by like that.
I think that we certainly are in support of competition. But again, I think we need a presentation. If there's going to be a presentation, we'll wait to get that presentation, and once we receive that, then we'll be in a position to make a firm comment on it.
Do you think that the cabinet should have been consulted before this got out in the light?
Well, I believe there's a process that we have had the discussion, and I believe there will be a full discussion with us in the coming days.
Yeah, I think it's important that the cabinet be consulted and be informed. So we haven't, as I said, today we did not discuss that issue, and I think at some future meeting, if in fact it continues, then we'll have that discussion.
What do you think of the confirmed report that the Prime Minister was personally calling BTL members to have them support the acquisition?
Well, I have no knowledge of that. I would not be in a position to speculate on that. I have no knowledge of that taking place.
And as expected, not everyone would be open to speaking. Minister Andre Perez told us he was late for his 5:30 flight and was quick to shut down any response to the media. One question, quick. Did the Prime Minister tell you about the acquisition?
Yeah. You know that we're not privy to discuss things right now in Cabinet. Let the Cabinet briefing come out first, okay? All right? Thank you.
Delisa Roberts, 7 News.
Reports say that BTL is expected to make a presentation to Cabinet next week. And while Cabinet waits on that presentation, are they considering something that is completely outside the law? As we reported last night, Belize's Telecommunications Act is specifically designed around the concept of competition. In fact, the telecom's law denote very stiff penalties for any phone company which engages in anti-competitive practices. And the former chairman of the PUC, Mr. John Avery, who held that post for 12 and a half years, explained that eliminating the competition by buying them out is not a lawful option. Here's more.
The chairman of BTL says that one of the problems with competition is a redundancy of assets. So they don't need redundant assets on SpeedNet. So what is the purpose for the acquisition? Simply to eliminate the competition. What else is there? Right? And so to me, BTL, by even considering this purchase and considering these agreements, to me, in my opinion, that's a violation of this section of the law. I don't know if BTL needs that to survive. BTL makes far more money than all the other players in the telecommunications industry combined. In fact, their profits might rival the total income from all the other telecom providers. The law, which is the government's official policy, says we have done away with that, and we started to prepare to do away with this 38 years ago, and we've spent hundreds of millions of dollars on taxpayers' backs to get that competition in. And after all of that, you will now come back and say, we will eliminate everything and put us back where we are. My thing is, like I said, the only reason why BTL would want to buy over SpeedNet, because you don't need the assets, you don't need the license. It's to eliminate the competition. So in my opinion, when the government says it has nothing to do with it, I find that as if you're abdicating your responsibility. You're the one that implemented this policy 38 years in the making. You had taxpayers of Belize paid hundreds of millions of dollars, all in the name of promoting competition. And now, with this move, we would be end up right back where we were in 1987 with a monopoly.
The most serious penalties for violations of the acts include prison time and up to $500,000 in fines. And we take a break now, but when we come back, Dr. Cecilio Eck, sad news tonight as his cancer has reappeared. We'll have an update, and the UDP questions the BTL acquisition of SpeedNet, but are they prepared to take it to the streets? Stay tuned for more news.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Start earning B-Bucks today. It's really quite easy. All you have to do is make a purchase at any Benny's location or Benny's entity. Remember, B-Bucks is as good as cash. It's free money.
Download the B-Bucks app and sign up to be eligible. It's fast and easy.
B-Bucks, rewarding loyalty.
We've always said that BTL does not fear competition.
They promise that a monopoly will lower your bills. But do you remember the last time BTL was a monopoly?
I am tired of this increase of rate. This is ridiculous. This is outrageous.
It is time for us to stand up together and say enough is enough.
They're done with GOB. They promise a lot of things and they sell it out.
A monopoly that is neither legally bound nor apparently morally inclined to give in.
God has stopped. They feel like they could come and lord it over us, and we have to stop this fool.
BTL is taking over $90 million in debt to buy smart. They have to pay that back. And how do you think they will do it? By squeezing you. When there's only one phone company, only one cable provider, and only one internet option, what incentive do they have to charge you less?
The Prime Minister has personally called to persuade board members to support it.
You get the politicians you vote for.
En Atlantic Bank, tu comodidad es nuestra prioridad. Nuestro centro de contacto está diseñado para mejorar tu experiencia bancaria, con una amplia gama de opciones de servicio al cliente. Ahorras tiempo y esfuerzo. Puedes llamar fácilmente para bloquear o desbloquear tus tarjetas de débito y crédito, realizar consultas de cuentas y acceder a información detallada de tus tarjetas. Ya sea que necesites asistencia con la banca en línea, apoyo para comercios o consultas generales, nuestro equipo está listo para ayudarte. Para mayor comodidad, si todos los operadores están ocupados, puedes dejar tu número y un operador te devolverá la llamada lo antes posible, para asegurarse de que recibas el apoyo que necesitas. Para mayor seguridad, es posible que necesitemos verificar tu identidad con un conjunto de preguntas sencillas. Recuerda, Atlantic Bank nunca solicitará tu nombre de tu usuario ni contraseña de Atlantic Online por llamada telefónica, mensaje de texto o correo electrónico, asegurando que tu información personal permanezca segura y protegida. Nuestro equipo de apoyo está disponible de lunes a viernes, de 8 a.m. a 6 p.m. en inglés y en español. Simplemente marca al 223-1212. Esta es la línea dedicada para nuestro centro de contacto. Atlantic Bank se compromete a brindarte un servicio excepcional y las herramientas que necesitas para administrar tus finanzas de manera conveniente y segura. Aprovecha al máximo nuestro servicio del centro de contacto.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Champion security, champion security, champion security. Yeah, yeah. Your security is our business, so we gonna protect you like a champion, like a champion.
Guess what, Mr. Handsome? Yeah, over there, Champion Security. This is the place to be. What does sign say? Champion Security. Here at Champion Security, we provide quality service. You know why? Such as triology lock, fire alarm, IP camera system, gate operator, biometric lock, and alarm system. Champion Security. Make a go check out where they go on inside of Champion Security. And boy, nice to meet you, my brother. Tell me a little bit more about Champion Security.
Well, welcome, Mr. Hanson. Here at Champion Security, we offer fire system, alarm system, camera system, gate operator, access control, and also trilogy locks and magnetic locks. Everything you need to do with security systems for residential and businesses, you could find everything here at Champion Security. We also consist of 12 technicians and we offer technical support 24 hours. So anything you need for your security systems, you could find everything here at Champion Security.
Remember, guys, here at Champion Security, we live by our motto, where your safe stay is our business. Give us a call now. Don't forget to check us on Facebook, Instagram, and all the social media platforms. And continue to shake it to the max all the way. Champion Security, the best place to be. We care for your safety.
You wanna rent it? It's not a problem. We got remote gate.
The Prime Minister's family stands to benefit substantially.
But do you know who doesn't stand to benefit? The Social Security Board and any Belizean worker who depends on them. It's so toxic, board members are resigning rather than voting. But the Social Security Board hasn't said anything. SSB owns more than 30% of BTL. Will they stay silent and allow this deal? Will they allow BTL to take on this massive liability? Will they gamble with your pension, your benefits, your fund? Politicians' families will get the payout, but Belizean workers will get the bill. SSB, don't gamble with what you can't afford to lose.
At Atlantic Bank, we stand as more than just a financial institution. We are your partners in progress, dedicated to fostering your success by providing tailored solutions to micro, small, and medium enterprises. Your successes are our triumphs, and every success story deserves to be celebrated. We pledge to stand by you every step of the way. Today, we celebrate the values that define you with your unwavering dedication, steadfast commitment, boundless innovation, resolute work ethic, and unyielding ambition. We will navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and continue building the future together.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
We continue our newscast tonight. There is sad news about Dr. Cecilio Eck. We last heard from him in October when the cancer appeared to be in remissions. Well, in December, he learned that it has spread to his bones. Here's a message posted today on the Friends of Dr. Eck's page.
Good afternoon. I'm back in Guyana getting some more treatment for this cancer. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Around the middle of December, I started to have pain in my hips. And it progressed so badly that I couldn't even walk. After several scans were done here and in Mexico City, I found out that it had in fact spread to the spine, the hips, and the ribcage. So my chemotherapy was stopped and I started a new one today. In all this, I know that God is present. Thanks for all your prayers and all your support.
For those wishing to help with Dr. Eck's cancer treatment, a bake sale fundraiser is being held on Friday at the Coral Grove Medical and Pediatric Center on this Friday, as mentioned, January 23rd from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And now returning to our top stories, a second person has been charged in connection to the murder of Mark Anthony Gabriel, the Caribbean chicken truck driver who was targeted while driving the company truck last Wednesday in Belmopan. On Friday, police arrested and charged 25-year-old Wilhelm Coyi for his murder. And now they have also charged 29-year-old Shaylon Santos of Tea Kettle Village for murder. Santos is a notorious name in the West and was most recently acquitted of murder in March of 2022 for the killing of 18-year-old Kiona Ara. And continuing with our top stories, a major collision occurred this morning at around 7 a.m. near Armenia Village on the Hummingbird Highway. It's a miracle no one was instantaneously killed in the massive impact, but there are serious injuries. So far, it has been reported that Adolfo Guzman Sr., Adolfo Guzman Jr., and Jaden Guzman were all injured. As a result, Guzman Jr. is in critical condition at the KHMH, while Jaden Guzman is expected to undergo surgery due to a broken leg and broken femur. We continue with our top stories today. The UDP held a press conference mainly to criticize BTL's proposed acquisition of SpeedNet and the cable companies, but the leader of the opposition, Tracy Panton, didn't outright condemn the idea of a telecom monopoly, but she did list out conditions that would have to be met before any deal could even be considered. Here's more.
Here are the UDP's non-negotiable demands. Public disclosure on the independent assessment and evaluations that have been complied to justify this deal must be made public. There must be full transparency on financing sources and public exposure. Parliamentary consideration and discussion and debate must be had before the process is allowed to proceed any further. There must be binding consumer protections on pricing and service quality. There must be binding worker protections and disclosure on labor impacts. And there must be the establishment of clear competition and merger control rules. Decoupling of the PUC appointment of members from those who run the government, or at minimum, the inclusion of an opposition representative on the commission. Let me be clear. The UDP is not anti-technology. The UDP is not anti-investment. We are, however, firmly opposed to secrecy. We do not support monopolies without proper consultation and consent. And we definitively oppose a government that attempts to operate with unilateral latitude, a posture that does not align with the government's commitment to instituting the gold standard. Remember Plan Belize? The gold standard for transparency, accountability, and good governance.
So does that mean she would approve a monopoly if these conditions are met? Panton explained they would support what is best for the country.
The role and responsibility of the opposition is to hold the administration to account, one. Two, to act in the best interests of the people and to defend the public interest. We have moved away from a monopoly. And I said that it is a C policy change. And a policy change requires the input of the Parliament, both the upper house and the lower house. I believe I heard prior on the beef, where Mr. Vasquez of Channel 7 explained that consolidation, there might be room for consolidation if there's an imminent threat of an external provider that will further compromise the investments that have been made by the government and Social Security, which are the workers of this country, in terms of telecommunications. We simply don't know. At this point, we do not support a monopoly, and we certainly do not support a monopoly that includes providing a golden parachute for the dying cable sector. We have not heard, the only insight that we have received, and I believe the media has received, in terms of the quote-unquote deal, was what was presented in a press release issued by the Waterloo Trust and the Ashcroft Alliance. We had no idea. We had no idea what the settlement be, how much we are going to be investing. We don't understand what were the assumptions that were part of coming up with this arrangement. We don't know what the valuation assessment says. We have no information that informs decision making. And so that is absolutely required.
But if these demands aren't met, and if the chairman doesn't resign, as Panton said he should, will the UDP take to the streets in protest? We asked her. Here's her response.
I can tell you, Courtney, that if I said today, we're going to hit the streets, we're going to hit the streets, people are exhausted. It is the view of the United Democratic Party that the chairman of BTL is completely compromised.
Disgraceful.
His hands, along with the hands of the Prime Minister of this country, were caught in the cookie jar. And it is not acceptable. We understand the board is going to be meeting shortly. We're going to give it a week or so, but we will not stand by and allow business to proceed as usual. We are clear. We're absolutely clear. We're clear in our press release, and I believe I was absolutely clear to do today. We will do everything that is within our lawful power, our lawful ability to ensure that the government of this country and the board of BTL and Social Security hears us loudly and clearly.
But during her speech, Panton didn't mention her meeting with Michael Ashcroft. In fact, until we asked, she didn't even mention the Ashcroft Alliance, which owns 77% of SpeedNet, which is at the center of this acquisition. But solid reports to 7 News are that she and the UDP's chairlady, Sheena Pitts, met with Ashcroft yesterday on his yacht, which is anchored off Belize City. What was the meeting about? Well, we asked the leader of the opposition about it today, and it got testy.
I understand from reports that you met with Lord Ashcroft yesterday that you went out to his yacht, the Atlantic Goose, you and the chairlady, I'm told. Are you able to speak about that and what came out of that?
Indeed. I met with Mr. Ashcroft.
On his yacht?
To make it clear to him what the position of the party is. We cannot continue to support any kind of public acquisition that has to do with, that will affect materially the public interest. That is our stand. We cannot support a monopoly. The future, and you want me to say there'll be absolutely no monopoly. Well, there should be absolutely no monopoly in electricity. There should be absolutely no monopoly in water, if that is the stance we're going to take in democratic countries with the population size that we have, there's room for monopolies because we have a small market to serve. That is why there's only one electricity provider, and that is why there's only one provider for water services. That's why there have been only one provider for telecommunications for so long, until the private monopoly took full advantage of the people of this country, until we were taken to court over and over and over and over again. And the government, as you know, it was the UDP administration who sought to nationalize BTL in the public's interest. I also will report here that the chairman of BTL is now scrambling to meet with the opposition. And I say, and I told him I would speak with the team and get back with him, why do you want to have the conversation now after your hand was caught in the cookie jar? Tell us what the deal was prior to getting here.
Do you think it was bad form to have met with Mr. Ashcroft on his yacht?
You are trying to listen, Jules. I will not let you put words in my mouth. I met with Mr. Ashcroft.
You left from the Fort George Pier? You and Sheena?
Are you going to allow me? Are you going to allow me?
Please do.
I seek to be the next leader of this country. And the next leader of this country must be open to meet with all investors. Where I choose to meet with them and not meet with them is immaterial, in my opinion. I have a duty and a responsibility to this party. I have a duty and responsibility, and one that I don't take lightly, as the leader of the opposition in the National Assembly. What I will not be accused of is being able to engage and to listen and to speak clearly for myself. I will not allow anyone to put words in my mouth, and certainly not myself.
Panton also made no mention of Ashcroft's Waterloo Charitable Trust, which is the owner of 77% of SpeedNet. But earlier this week, Jules Vasquez asked, can you trust the trust? After all, we've been hearing of these Ashcroft-affiliated charitable trusts for decades, but not seeing the charity. When we asked Panton about it, she explained that she, too, is wary of trusts because of what's happened in the past. Here's how she put it in detail.
We haven't had great success, if any, with trusts. We didn't have any tangible returns on the Sunshine Trust. We didn't have any tangible returns on the BTL Workers Trust. There is the fact of the matter is that SpeedNet sold, the Briceño family sold 80% of its company to the Waterloo Trust. That was not a function of government, not my government, certainly influenced by the Briceño government, because we all knew that Smart was in the red. And to save whatever interest they wanted to save in that company, the Briceño aligned company sold to SpeedNet, to the Waterloo Group. 77%, 78% almost, is owned by the Waterloo Group. I say that to make it clear. That is not a function. That is not a function of my administration or the policy of this United Democratic Party. When Smart was selling to the Waterloo Alliance. That was a commercial transaction. Now that we have the situation with BTL, that is a public institution, it is not simply a commercial transaction, and it has to be treated with the level of seriousness that it deserves. And not only seriousness, scrutiny that it deserves.
Meanwhile, the new police minister, Oscar Mira, says it's time for his ministry to reorganize. Minister Mira said that despite a recent surge in violent crime, there is still hope that under his leadership, there will be changes. He offered a feeble boast that the murder count for 2025 compared is down by 1 over 2024. Here's more.
If you look at the statistics, last year, the statistics shows that we were 1 below the number for the previous year. And indeed, it is alarming that, we started the new year with a murder. And we are looking at making sure that our different units of the police department are well equipped. They have been retasked. We are going to reorganize. We're going to retask the special branch. We're going to retask the CIB and all those units that do investigations. It is not an easy task. Most of the time, we can only see the statistics of what happened. Whatever the police department prevents in terms of their anti-crime prevention strategy and their patrols and those things are really you can't quantify what you have what hasn't happened.
We should note that once again, our numbers for the murder count of 2025 do not match with the police departments. Ours have the total count at 4 higher than the official number. And as the Belmopan Rep Mira is trying to project a firm message that Belmopan is not the place for crime, even though it saw a daring murder last week. But in light of the murder of Mark Gabriel, Mira sent a warning to the criminals and their families. Here's more.
I made it known that, believe Belmopan not like that. We need to make sure that we put every resources that we have to ensure that we solve those robberies and that we solve the murder. I think the police department has gone in over time to ensure that we investigate, not only investigate, but that we have sufficient evidence to arrest and to charge. We cannot allow, and I will not allow anybody else to come to Belmopan and believe that they're going to get away in doing robberies or any other murder here in this capital city. And I want to warn them and their families, because most of the time that the families are the ones who protect these people, most of the time the families are the ones who benefit, and then they protect and go up on social media, go up on the media and holler about, oh, my son not do this and my son never do that. And that, the Wali thief, I heard one saying the Wali thief and probably do Wali robbery here and there, but the man that know a murderer, I know why they treat them kind of weird. Well, let me say something. The police department will come very hard. And I have instructed Special Branch and I've instructed CRB to do everything that they can to make sure that we solve this murder and to make sure that we solve the robberies that have been happening here in Belmopan.
Mira also spoke about surveillance cameras, which are across the country to aid in crime deterrence and detection. The capital city is no exception, but the minister calls on the citizens to also aid in fighting crime.
We have cameras installed throughout the capital, and I think that is what have helped us to solve this murder. Do we need more? I guess we do, and we are looking at the deployment of those cameras around the capital. But for now, I think that our communities and our citizens need to, they are the other law enforcement part that is needed. Many times they see something, they don't see anything, but then they will go on social media and rant and rave and holler at the police and they do anything. We depend on the community. You know, we wish that we can be everywhere, but it's just impossible.
And we take a break now, but when we come back, Jules Vasquez says the media is going through its own apocalypse. And the outgoing BEL chairman says he was asked to step aside. These stories and much more. Stay tuned.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize, knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
The Prime Minister's family stands to benefit substantially.
But do you know who doesn't stand to benefit? The Social Security Board and any Belizean worker who depends on them. It's so toxic, board members are resigning rather than voting. But the Social Security Board hasn't said anything. SSB owns more than 30% of BTL. Will they stay silent and allow this deal? Will they allow BTL to take on this massive liability? Will they gamble with your pension, your benefits, your fund? Politicians' families will get the payout, but Belizean workers will get the bill. SSB, don't gamble with what you can't afford to lose.
A safer Belize begins with all of us, and the Belize Police Department is taking bold steps to build that future together. The new 2025-2029 Crime Control and Crime Prevention Strategy is transforming policing from the ground up, reforming practices, rebuilding trust, and strengthening accountability. With investments in modern technology, upgraded infrastructure, and smart data-driven tools, officers will respond faster, work smarter, and endeavor to keep communities safer. This plan puts community partnership at its core. It will require more engagement, result in more transparency, and introduce new programs that support our youth, prevent violence, and promote second chances. From fighting gang violence and illegal firearms to confronting emerging threats like cybercrime, the BPD is building stronger, smarter, more specialized teams to protect every Belizean. And with enhanced training and leadership development, our officers are better prepared than ever to serve with integrity and professionalism. The Belize Police Department is rebuilding, reforming, and renewing its commitment to you. Together, we can create a safer, stronger Belize.
As leader of the opposition, what's going to happen if, God forbid, they were to win and he becomes prime minister? What is he going to do with respect to BTL and SpeedNet at that juncture? What is he going to do with respect to the competition, to the conflict that must continue to prevail between SpeedNet Smart, which his family owns, and I say he also owns, versus a BTL? What?
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
The Judicial Settlement Conference system was launched today under the senior courts of Belize with the swearing in of several senior lawyers as settlement officers. The system was designed with a view to assist persons in resolving civil disputes. Persons involved in these cases will now be able to meet privately and safely to achieve a binding resolution with the help of a settlement officer. Senior counsel Andrew Marshalik is one of those new officers, and he spoke a bit more about his role today.
It's a first time the whole process is being introduced here. So we were invited to some initial training. Some training is ongoing, but it's about dispute resolution, trying to help people resolve differences, and it offers another approach to doing so as an avenue of litigation. Yes, if it doesn't work, it ends up at court, but it offers some different opportunities that the existing processes do not. So it is a little different to mediation or arbitration, and hopefully it encourages parties to look to other approaches to resolving differences before going to trial and litigating.
And you begin immediately?
I believe the rules are still being settled. Have now been, I think they're finally settled. And yes, we start today.
The media also got to ask Marshallek about his recent departure as BEL chairman after serving in that post for 5 years. Due to the high cost of power, the company has run into serious debt in the tens of millions of dollars. Marshallek said he was asked to give way to a new approach.
Would you say why you decided not to continue as chairman of BEL?
I was asked to make way for a new approach.
Really?
Yes, and I agreed to do so.
And a new approach is what the traditional media in Belize has been trying to work with for years. The television and radio stations have seen their revenues crash because advertisers can now advertise for free on social media, and even when they do pay to boost a post, it has no GST. XTV's Mose High discussed it yesterday in the context of SpeedNet and BTL's claim that a big international company named Starling is about to get into the Belize market. SpeedNet says this is what they need to be consolidated into BTL. But Hyde said only the specifically entitled can get such a bailout. Here's more.
We have to sit down every day and watch money they spend on Google ads, Facebook ads, and no, pay GST, brother. But when you come buy ads for me, you have to pay GST. Fundamentally, that unequal and unjust. I don't want to get worked up on it. My brother here know that one of my pet thing there where I hate. Because if when the hotel people and say Airbnb can't exist and not they pay hotel tax, there was a response. When the media have a problem with the calamitous reality where technology they bring to it, even before AI, that don't nobody got a problem. That don't nobody got a problem that we content that one of the main reasons why somebody want any of these local streamers when they could just get Netflix, when they could just get Fire Stick. But your news and the talk shows still have gravity, still have leverage. Yeah, we use it, but we don't want to hear your complaint. We don't want to hear we don't want to hear your cries. That no matter. I tell you today, this meeting here, this press thing here, this is about we.
Channel 7 Director Jules Vasquez backed that up with his own interpretation. He said the media is going through an apocalypse.
So if somebody had told us 15 years ago, Facebook they come and they're going to give everybody free advertising. Instagram they come and they're going to give everybody free advertising. All I know I got dead, right? Because then it says Starlink they come. The sky is falling, bail way out. We need to cash in the money. Well, Breds, we are living the Armageddon. We are trans-apocalyptic in the media. We are living it. We just have to take a lick and find a way to survive and continue to serve our people, our viewers, and our listeners. So I'm just saying, everybody needs their own hands to pray. But, your hands are, you the Briseño, and you the Ashcroft Alliance, Waterloo Charitable Trust. Forgive me. Your hands must be, we must lift this burden from your hands. No, sir. All we have to take a lick. And if it's dead in your hand, it's dead in your hand. Because right now, my baby, every time I have to, it's serious. This is the way all we go through.
Meanwhile, in other news, Dixon Caceres has been charged for the Christmas Day murder of Archibald Farrell Jr., which occurred in Bella Vista Village, Toledo District. The 23-year-old Caceres, a Belizean laborer of Bella Vista Village, Toledo District, has been charged for the crime of murder. Notably, the murder of Farrell Jr. was linked to the mass shooting in Mango Creek. Meanwhile, Kekaker is one of the fastest growing communities in the country, and to ensure the safety of its residents, the island's policing efforts are expanding with the construction of a new substation. Work is expected to begin right away, and here are the highlights from its launch ceremony today with the Minister of Police and Area Representative.
This is infrastructure that is really needed in Kekaker. So the construction equipment of the Kekaker Police Substation will go a very, very long way to provide the safety and security that the residents of Kekaker deserve. We have been, as I have been touring our installations and our infrastructure, we know that a lot of works need to get done. And this is just one more. And we hope that in the very near future, we have more of these infrastructure coming up. Thanks to Kabe and thanks to the staff who have been working really hard, to the contractor, Coleman Construction Limited. Thank you so much for the work that is going to happen. And we want to start right away. Security is one of those things that we all want to live in a secure and safe environment. And the police department does its work, great work, but they need the tools. And they need the space to do that work, and this is just one more.
And today is especially historic note to confirm that the work will begin, and that we, as we are being told, that we expect no less than 12 months for this project to complete. It is very timely, Minister, very timely because Kekaker is a community that is growing very, very fast, and the contribution that this small community does contributes to the economy cannot go unnoticed. And as such, we as from the government must give back, again, in terms of services, and what more important is to build a brand new building for the police department that has a huge formation.
Only 113 public officers received certification yesterday for completing the Strengthening Public Expenditure Management project under the Ministry of Public Service. The program was made possible through a partnership with the ministry, UB, and funding from IDB. The project first commenced in September 2025, and here are the highlights from that event.
Today marks a proud and significant milestone for Belize's public service as we celebrate the successful completion of the Strengthening Public Expenditure Management Certificate Program, SPEM. Dr. Palacio said he heard a lot about it. Well, I have to admit that when I first heard that acronym, I was a little nervous about how it would have been utilized. I won't say any more than that. But I have to say that it has certainly developed into a very important milestone for our public service. This program was created to build skills in planning, spending, reporting, controls, and ultimately the delivery of services to our people. It was designed not merely to instruct, but to transform how we manage public resources, ensuring we become better financial stewards for a stronger, more sustainable Belizean economy. All of you were trained and certified across the key areas that drive a well-run country: accounting, including IPSAS, principles and auditing; budgeting, including techniques and forecasting; treasury and cash flow management; procurement, including national and international regulations and contract management; internal controls, and risk-based auditing.
5 certification streams. There were 13 courses and a competency framework shaped by public sector practitioners and development partners. Since September of 2025, more than 100 officers have engaged in this program. You balanced demanding roles with further training. You navigated new tools and tackled real-world financial management challenges. Your efforts reflect professionalism and commitment, of which we are extremely proud.
Today's certification is a milestone that reflects not only individual achievement,
but also a collective determination among the partners, the government of Belize, the University of Belize, and the Inter-American Development Bank, to continue to strengthen the foundations of fiscal management. The pursuit of strong public financial management is critical to the sustainable development of small developing states like Belize, which face a unique set of challenges. Vulnerability to external shocks, such as the global economic and trade instability that we are all now experiencing, is compounded by increased risks of extreme weather events associated with climate change. As economies with narrow economic bases, dependence on global markets where we are price takers, and limited fiscal space, there is intense pressure on public resources, and therefore every public dollar matters.
And it's only been 13 days into 2026, and the Tapir Project is reporting the first Tapir death. Except this time, it is a double fatality because she was pregnant. According to a Facebook post, reps from the Tapir Project were called out early this morning to an area along the Hummingbird Highway near the Saboon Bridge. During the necropsy, they discovered a full-term calf weighing 20 pounds. In their post, they state that as roads continue to expand, wildlife like tapirs are increasingly at risk. They then urge drivers to speak up and drive with care. And that's all we have for you on 7 News on this Tuesday night. Thank you so much for watching. I am Miriam Abdul-Kawi. You can find a full transcript of the news at 7newsbelize.com and see the streaming video on our Facebook page. Have a good night and join Jo Marie Lanza here tomorrow at the same time. Have a good night, folks.